Well, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has just released, and it is an extremely refreshing take on a slowly dying series that has really bring forth a morally questioning campaign, which was extremely surprising. Hi, I'm Seth from Silver Soul Gaming, and I'm here to give my thoughts slash review on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And let me just say, this game is amazing. It's a breath of fresh air on a series that is seeming lacking creativity and just overall quality in these last few years, where they've had this slow decline ever since Black Ops 2. And this game is fucking amazing. I mean, straight up, they have changed the engine, and that says to me straight away that this Infinity Ward team cared a lot more about what they were making by going that extra step and making a new engine for the series, because it's been the same engine that's just kind of been modified and updated really forever almost. And now we finally have a new engine, and you can see it in not only the gameplay but graphically. The game looks amazing, the cutscenes are beautiful, and this game looks up to par with some of the great AAA titles that have released in the past few years. And this is something Call of Duty hasn't done. They always kind of just released a kind of mediocre or goodish kind of game over the last few years. But this one, it's different. And the campaign says it all. Straight up, the campaign really tries to question the line between what can you really do in war and what drives you to do it, and what happens. There's lots of times in this campaign where innocent people are going to die and you can't do anything about it, because if you save them, everyone else dies, and those choices can affect the game heavily. And it is hard. It's the first Call of Duty where I've thought about not shooting someone because they looked innocent, but in reality they were actually going to blow themselves up. And I was like, oh shit, I should have taken the shot. But you learn that as you play, but this game really questions morals, and like Captain Price says in the game, we get dirty so the world doesn't. And then there's one very strong interrogation mission where you have to interrogate someone and you use their family as leverage because regular torture doesn't work. And that is something I don't think I'd ever see in a Call of Duty game, or really a game in general, because it's very strong and mature. But I can definitely say that they did stand up to every mission in this game feeling like no Russian in a way, by showing what they show, by doing what you do as a character. It is heavily, it's hard to watch almost at times, and as someone who can stomach that kind of stuff and it doesn't worry me, it's still very like, oh shit. And then there's certain parts of the game where the enemies are gassing people, but then you do it at a later stage in the game, and it really makes you question how different are the enemies from the good guys. And that's kind of what they were going for in this campaign. And there's some callbacks to Modern Warfare. There's actually probably more lines than there are old characters, but there was a surprising couple of characters that showed up in this game. But from what I can tell, the future seems to be pointing towards a more play on nostalgia for what Infinity Ward want to do. But this game, it really stood on its own, and it simply kind of just used the Modern Warfare name rather than the characters from the past titles, except for Captain Price. Now that I've gotten the story out of the way, let me just say the gameplay is amazing. I touched upon this in the beta when I played the beta. It's great. It's refreshing, like I said. It's never slow considering what past titles have been like and how they've just constantly upped the speed of the game. This game feels fast, but not too fast, and it's not too slow. It's kind of perfect, almost in a way, the speed. There is certain maps that are a bit like, oh, I've spawned all the way back here, now I've got to run for like 10 seconds to get back into the action, which is really frustrating, and then you die straight away almost because you've run back into the action in the multiplayer and you just get picked off, and that shit happens and you got to do it again. That's frustrating, but you can't do much about that. And with the gameplay, they changed up the map structure, which I was extremely surprised about, because usually in Call of Duty each map is just done with 3 lanes. You got a lane on the left, lane in the middle, lane on the right, and usually everyone goes in the middle, and the trick is to just go on one of the left or right lanes and come down back through the middle on the opposite side of spawn and pick everyone off. But they've changed it up. Like, there is a map in this game that's almost it's a semicircle, but there's no lanes, and you kind of just got to run in a circle and just try not to get picked off when you run through the middle. And then there's underground parts, and it's really refreshing to just play on a map that hasn't got that simple 3-lane structure that, you know, you can't, it's very simple to play. And I found myself really thrown off on that first round that I played on the semicircle kind of map, because I didn't know what the fuck to do. And it's great because it challenges old players and also allows new players to get a gist of what the new Call of Duty is going to do onwards, or people that haven't picked up the game in a while. Because from what I can tell, a lot of people are picking up this new Modern Warfare game for the first time in a while, because no one's played Call of Duty in the last four or so years. And it's great to see that people are coming back to the series for Modern Warfare. Honestly though, I would just be happy if Infinity Ward could just make the games from now on. I've never really been a massive fan of Treyarch's games, especially with Black Ops 4 last year. It was a clear decline in quality in that game. And, you know, Black Ops 3 was good. The campaign in Black Ops 3 was terrible. Black Ops 1 and 2, yeah, their campaigns are really good. I thought Black Ops 1 and 2 are Treyarch's best games, but then they've just used the Black Ops name, and I would like them to do something different. Whereas Infinity Ward, I think they make great games, and it's really shown in this Call of Duty, particularly just in the quality and the gameplay. And the game looks like it fits in with a 2019 game. Whereas if I played Black Ops 4, I could have said this was a very early PlayStation 4, Xbox One game, rather than the games that we're getting now with the constant graphical enhancements that we're getting. And I think that's really all I have to say, because I haven't changed a lot from the beta. I could go really in depth on the gameplay, but I don't want to bore people on that because I don't want to as well, because it just gets too boring for me personally to talk about. But look, overall, they've changed the map structure. All the weapons are good. Every weapon is a viable option, which is great. And the time to kill in this game is fun. That's all you really need to know. And just play and get better. And just have fun. Get mates to play with you. This game is going to last a long time, I think. Especially if Treyarch's game next year, I don't think it's going to be great, because they've got to make that within 2 years rather than 3 that they usually get. So I think Modern Warfare might be also the Call of Duty of next year to play. So get on it. I'll be playing it heaps. And I really just recommend playing this game, not only for the multiplayer, but for the campaign. I think it's a campaign that a lot of people need to play, especially with a lot of, you know, the conflict that happens in the US, and there's a lot of troops being sent overseas. And I think it's really important to play this game, and it's a great way to kind of get an idea of what war is like, but it's also not too full on that it would put a lot of people off. But I have heard some people felt, you know, very uncomfortable playing it, which is fair enough. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Make sure you go check out everything Silver Soul Gaming. The links will be in the description. I also have a Twitch. I'm streaming on that all the time. Come check that out. I do that with some of my mates who I just play games with sometimes. I'll probably stream Call of Duty by myself at some stage, hopefully. And I'll probably do an Outer World stream on my personal Twitch, and even on this YouTube channel maybe. And yeah, anyway guys, I'll see you next week for another video. most likely on, I don't know. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a like, and I'll see you guys next week.